What's up, y'all? Let's get the streaming started. So, we're supposed to do evaluation and management today. I'm just trying to get these things going, and you guys know I have so many different website channels, and I got stores in each one of those channels. So it's a little bit ball game for me to keep up with all those channels. Because when you guys get ready to start ordering in those channels, um, I got to make sure I keep up with them. So we got Rainy working on that right now. So some of y'all who did place orders, she get ready to get them out the door right now. Um, and this is for class orders, book orders, whatever you ordered. If you ordered a book and you have not gotten the book yet, she can ready to put them out the door now. But I still can upload ebooks for you guys if you want the ebooks. Um, and some of you who ordered on one of my websites, one of my social media sites, I haven't even looked at it yet. I just happened to look at it this morning and I saw the orders there. So trust me, they're gonna go out, and you guys can also. Also gonna add you guys into the Sapphire Academy, okay, and that's gonna help you as well. So those of you who have placed the orders, absolutely. I know I got this thing on it. I'm sorry. I have stuff going on all over the place. But this is just, a quick 5 minutes on you guys who are starting coding new and are some of my social media platforms that I have not been on. I will be getting to them today. And again, those of you who have ordered and who have not received your book or your ebook or your XYZ, y'all know I'm about to hit y'all off with the whole shebang. Okay, everything. Okay, so let's get this chat started, and then I'm gonna get back at that. So this is gonna be a long chat, and yeah, you guys see my back screen. I ordered the green screen for my back chair, and I had one. I don't know why I threw it away because it was annoying me, but I do need it because this thing keeps driving me nuts with how it is, and now I got to figure out how to use the green screen. But I like how this background is. I like how this is. Wherever I'm at, I can stream without fixing this and fixing that. Okay. Um, I don't know who that is. So hopefully you guys have your book. Let's kind of get started. I don't know why I'm leaning in, but I'm just trying to make sure I'm not cut off. But there's something you're supposed to do with this so it doesn't like cut you off completely. But it's supposed to come tomorrow, so hopefully I get my green screen tomorrow, y'all. Now, today we're going to be talking about evaluation and management. Evaluation and management is pretty long, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be 3 segments. So we do have to get started with that. Now, I have ordered the 2026 books. There's really no need for me to use them now. I mean, if you guys want to go ahead and order 2026, you can. That's fine, especially if you're taking your test next year. Don't order 2025. Go ahead and get the 2026. Okay. For training purposes, I would get the used books or go to thrift.com and get those books. Okay. If you want to order the medical billing and coding Q&A book, which is a book just kind of letting you know what coding is, what revenue codes are, and just kind of letting you know what medical billing and coding is all about, especially those of you who are new to medical billing and coding. Okay, those of you who are new. And some of you guys who will be archiving this that I have not met before or I have not spoken to, uh, you can always discussion board me through the Sapphire Academy. And some of you, what are we putting in here? I'm trying to put AAPC. I'm dropping AAPC so some of you can know about that entity, okay? Because that's who you're taking your exam with. Okay, so and again, some of you who are new to this program, I want to make sure you have what you need. Okay, and again, Sandy, I know you ordered from Whatnot. I just sent you a message through Whatnot. I'm not sure why the book was delayed, but your book is coming out, and I've given you free access to get into the Sapphire Academy as a courtesy for us being late on sending you your book. Okay, so that's a $400 course. So trust me, you're gonna get more out of that even just the book that I'm gonna send you. I'm also gonna send you the ebook on the Q&A book as well. So look out for that. So this is evaluation and management class, and again, we just kind of touch bases on some of you guys who have ordered from some of my other platforms. um, if you have ordered or if you have enrolled, you should have everything by today, okay? Because the enrollment is boom 1 2 3. I'm gonna assign you a Sapphire coding email. You'll have access to the Sapphire Academy. Your medical coding books that you ordered that I have written. I am the author of 3 books. If you order those books, I will send you a ebook ASAP until you get your other book in the mail. Okay, so let's move on. So we are now in the gusto of the coding. We are now in the gusto of the coding. I have to do evaluation and management more than likely in 3 segments because it is very long. um, you have to understand what we need to do in regards to evaluation and management in an office setting. Okay, it's either in an office setting or you're going to be in a hospital. Uh, okay, because they have, of course, medical offices in a hospital. So your step-by-step book is what you need to have, and your CPT book. Now, yesterday we did go over modifiers, and we went over those modifiers quickly because I wanted to make sure that you were good. I know I smashed my hand in the table yesterday. Um, we wanted to make sure that you were good because in evaluation and management, you're going to be using modifiers. So the introduction that we did in the chat yesterday, if you guys have not looked at it, make sure you look at it because it's just giving you an insight on the modifiers. Okay, those modifiers will be used. Okay, even if it's a surgery, the modifiers still need to be used. If you guys already have your CPC guide, that's fine. So you guys know at the end of the course, the CPC guide, that's your more advanced courses that we're going to go through. But you still can have your CPC guide with you when you are learning. And like I said, if you guys don't have a table where you're going to sit at like you're in a classroom, go to Home Depot, get the 2 5 by 5 or whatever it is, and make your own table because you're going to need to have your computer in front of you, your book on the right, and another book on the left, and me in front of you. It's just like you're in a classroom, okay? So I want you to make sure that you have enough of space to do what you need to do when you're in this classroom. Okay, so and evaluation and management, if you are not planning on doing surgical coding, that's fine. If you're planning on doing E&M in medicine, this is where you need to make sure you steadfast. Okay, so I'm gonna just pull up my book. So you guys should have your step-by-step book. If you don't, like I said, just go to thrift.com and you probably can get it for $5 or something like that. Try not to get past 2023, especially 2022. I want you guys to make sure you have the right material. Most of it is the same. They just pretty much changed the cover of it, and it's pretty much the same. Okay, I don't know what that is. But we gotta change that. Put this on here. Okay, so definitely want you guys to make sure that you have that book. Let me see why I'm not able to pull that up right. That's my window 2, window 3, camera 4. Okay, I'm not sure my Windows source is not pulling out right, but it's basically the same thing. Y'all know always pull up the medical terminology book or the step by step here, but I got to make sure you guys have it. So pull it out, and all I'm gonna do is take you to Unit 3. I'm on page 196. Okay, and I'm only on page 196 just because. Okay, let me see what this is right here, because I need to take some of this stuff off. Because this is what you should be seeing. That looked like something that was. No, it wasn't that. Wasn't that. I guess I have a million things up here. All right, so I'm in Elsevier. So again, you can also get your book from elsevier.com. So, like I said, we did the modifiers yesterday. It was on page 243. Um, we did the CPT modifiers. Okay, modifiers through 22 to 26. Okay, all the way through 99. You guys were going to do that. So you guys are going to study for that. Now, like I said, in your CPT book, it is arranged the same way as your step by step book. So in your step by step book, if you kind of take a look at that and look at your CPT book, you could tell, in this whole industry, we work around the same type of material. We work around the same type of material. Okay. So, even if you get a book and you start from 3 chapters, 4 chapters, if you look at even the CPC guide, look at the CPC guide, look at the medical terminology book, or look at the step-by-step book, they are all arranged in the same fashion. Your CPC guide only has evaluation and management next to medicine because they're both in the office, pretty much office settings. Okay, but I'm just telling you how crazy it is, how it's literally repetitious, showing you the same thing. Okay, so I gotta figure out what window is this on and why this is on this window. I see it. I think it is in here. No. Okay, let's go here. Let's get rid of this because what it's doing is pulling up. Unless I have an extra one on there. I don't know what that is. All right, so I'll just do another one. So we'll just do another one just to see, because I don't want, sometimes when you guys go out of chat, I'm doing all kinds of stuff, but I'm just kind of make sure we got what we need. And some of my images look a little weird. I've got it on window 2. It should be on window 1. But again, I'm just trying to, let you guys go ahead and get ready and get your books out. Make sure you have paper so you can write down any type of notes that you need to get from me. I also want you to have index cards so you can also have those to study by. Um, did you guys check out there was something they put on Twitter in regards to, I think Kim kind of had like a relapse just before she took her exam. That's not what I want you to do. That's what you call a crashing. When you crash, you don't retain anything, you lose it. So just before your exam, you study 12 hours before. If your exam is at 8, you stop at 8 p.m. Make sure you have fruit before you take your exam. Okay? Make sure you have fruit before you take your exam, and make sure it's not that time of the week. Okay? Because you're going to start hemorrhaging. Any exam is very stressful. Any exam is very stressful. And what happened is she crashed out. And what the heck is wrong with that dog? Um, you see some of the people who do take tests and they take tests with ease is because they haven't driven themselves crazy with it. I don't know. I kind of almost got a couple of mixed signals with her. You, if that's your passion to take this test, and you want to be an attorney, don't drive yourself crazy when you're trying to take the exam. Space yourself. Don't study up until 10 minutes before you take the exam. You're not going to remember none of that stuff. Okay, you have to study hours before, and then you have to get that good night's sleep, have your pencils, everything ready that you can ready, go out the door with that morning, or whether it's online, if you want to sit there online. Don't stress yourself out 5 minutes before you take the test. You'll never pass it. So I'm hoping next time that she does take that exam, she doesn't stress herself out with everything around her. You have to block it out. I don't care if she need to go to a cabin and forget about all this extracurriculum stuff that she's doing and then focus on that studying. I guarantee you she will pass that exam. I don't care how she did her studying. I don't care where she get her learning from. She gonna pass that exam. Because a lot of times it's not about where you had your training. It's can you pass an exam. Y'all already know that. It's not about you going to college for medical billing and coding. It's not about you going to college for coding. Can you pass an exam? So I just wanted to make sure I put that out there for when you guys are taking your CPC. Don't stress yourself out. Just take your time. Okay. So let's get to the step by step. Um, so I'm hoping you all got your book out already. Now we already did some of this yesterday. Where's my book at? We already did some of this yesterday, and we're just kind of backtracking. The modifiers you guys already did. Those of you who have your books out, you already did this. Make sure you get your CPT book out with this, okay? So, evaluation and management is actually in Unit 3, Chapter 11. And that's what I'm going to click on right now. Mine is on page 273. But remember, I have the ebook. Okay, I have the ebook, and we're trying to figure out why my ebook ain't popping up. So I might have to put it in again. Where was it? Where's my window? What's on the window now? My window seems to be stuck on that one, so I'm not sure why my window is like that. And I got class Friday 15. Let me see. It's Friday 15, and this is something window. So it looks like I got two windows up. I don't know where the other window is. I can't get rid of it. So, again, we're just going to kind of move on because you guys already got your book. You don't need to see my book. Okay. So, the contents of the E&M section, 3 factors of E&M coding, office or other outpatient code guidelines. Okay. If y'all don't have your book, just let me know. Y'all gonna have to just kind of read along with me. I'll have to figure out how I'm gonna put this book up there because I don't know where that station is over there. I'll have to put it up again. Um, and I can do that when we do 15 minutes. Various levels of E&M service, E&M code example, using the E&M codes, documentation and guidelines. Okay, chapter review. Now, in your objectives, it is going to be the same as your objectives in your CPC coding book. Okay, it's going to be the same objectives. Okay, I'm going to see if I can track this in here. All right, so it looks like it's in here. I'm just going to put this up to make sure you guys know to have your CPT book. Open. Okay, so yeah, I want you to have your CPT book open. So, that's what we're pretty much going to go over. I want you guys to also make sure that when you are doing your studying, um, this has to be complete quiet. That's the only way you're going to retain what you're doing. And like I said, some of you are long term, some of you are short term memory people. So, in other words, if you study something or I'm giving you something today, you cannot remember it right off the bat. You remember it by Monday completely. Some people, short term memory, um, they can, remember everything I say in about 5 minutes. So, just take heed to that. But in this section, there are going to be tests in this book, and I want you to go ahead and do the book, do the test as well. Okay, I'm still working on trying to get you this visual right now. But again, in your learning objectives, like I said, this is gonna be a long class, so just hold on. Let me see if I can get this in there. All right, and if you don't have your book, you can write this down. You can write down what I'm getting ready to tell you. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me just get back in here. It must be down here. Oh, is this it right here? Hold on, let me see. There's something back here. There it is. So I don't know why this is here. So I must have had two up there. So let's get rid of that. I don't know why this is here. Let's get rid of that. Quit. I'll pull that up. And these should be the only two things that's right here. So these should be the only things that you guys can see. My screen. This one. Must be this one. This one right here. Let's get rid of that. I just ordered that. That's why that looks like that. All right. So we got one, two. This is primarily 226. So I got the CPT 226. Yeah, I just ordered that one. So I must have this up twice. Okay, let's get rid of that. All right. So yeah, I just ordered the 2026. The CPT and the ICD-10. I used the buck. You guys know I still use the buck version. But I still use the other versions too, and ebook. I'm just trying to figure out why in the heck I keep getting whatever that is. I don't know where that is, and apparently it's stuck on there. So I'm trying to figure out how to get it off. I don't know where it is, cause that's not supposed to be on there. Y'all should be able to see my book. I don't even have the YouTube up, so I'm trying to figure out why is it still showing YouTube when I don't have YouTube up. Um, I don't know why she's right there. Girl, get out of here. So anyway, y'all know I'll be rambling on sometime. Okay, so we did we. So what is this? This must be it right here. Let's get rid of that. I don't know if that's it or not, but I don't know where she came from. Um, all right, so let's try it again. Let's try it again. So if this is not it this time, then I gotta try something else. I can't even see it. Hold on, move on. Yeah, I gotta try something else to get it. But anyway, let's move on. So, in your step by step book, I'm just gonna kind of run down your objectives real quick. Your objectives, as in what you're going to be learning in this section. Identify and explain 3 factors of E&M coding. Okay. You will learn the difference between a new and established patient, which will be pretty easy for you. Some of you are already in a facility, you know what to do. Okay, those of you who are not in a facility, this will be a beginning course for you. Okay, differentiate the differences between an inpatient and an outpatient. Okay, you are going to explain the levels of E&M services, whether you're in ambulatory or you are in an outpatient setting. Okay, like I said, this is the gusto of your coding, and I do not fly through the coding. As you guys can see how slow I'm talking, I have to make sure you get this. Okay, you're going to review the key components. What are the key components, Miss Lambert? Your key components are what type of coding are you going to be doing? What type of services you're going to be coding? What type of key components are you going to use to code this case? 1, 2, 3, or 4. Severe, non-severe. Patient comes in with a cough. Is it low, high, medium? That's what you're getting ready to learn. Okay. So key components is, that's your gusto. We code E&M by time, but that's your gusto. Okay. Analyze the key components of the medical decision making. Medical decision making is pretty much what derived the provider to give this patient this code. Okay, analyze code information. You guys know what that is. Analyze types of E&M codes. We looked at that the other day. Some from 92202, new patient 92212, stuff like that. Identify CMS documentation guidelines. Now, we look at this on a regular basis, the documentation guidelines, okay? And you can go on CMS and, I would do it every 3 days just to see if something pops up. But if you already enrolled for emails from CMS when updates come in, you will already get them. And those of you who are going for your own business, yes, I want you to enroll for the emails. Okay, so identify CMS documentation guidelines, demonstrate your ability to code E&M services. Now, what's in the CPC guide is what you're literally going to be studying. What you're doing now, this is class functions. This is what we do in school. This is what we do in college. This is what we do in business schools. This is what you do in training schools. The same thing that I'm giving you is what you will get. Okay. No, I cut out some of the middleman or some of the nonsense that you don't need. We go to the gusto to make sure you pass your test. Okay, so this page I want you guys to look at. Hold on a minute. Let me see something in here. The sapphire coding. Sapphire sutra. So it looks like the same thing. Looks like the same thing in there. So the page that I'm on right now is. Hold on, let me pull this up. I'm on 273. On 273, we're going to start with the contents of the E&M section. So just hold on. So it's already 11 o'clock right now. We didn't start at 10, so we did start at 11, but not 11, but it was pretty close to 11. Um, the contents of the E&M section that we're going to start with is pretty much the information that's going to be in your chapter 8, okay? If you got a different book that you are using as far as your step-by-step book, this book is the only one that I use, and this is the one that I go by. This is the book that we use in the schools, okay? But if you can follow along with another one and you feel like that one is better for you, if it has the same thing as just step by step, and it's what we required to use for the coding program. Okay, so I'm on page again. I'm on 273, and you guys should be on the same page. So the contents of the E&M section is where I'm at. And you can go to elsevier.com and get this book if you want to. You can go to elsevier.com. Okay. Um, so this information in this book is going to be for office and other outpatient services, which we went over yesterday. New established patient, which is some of what we just went over. But I just want to kind of make sure that everybody's on the same page. We're going to talk about consultations. We're going to talk about emergency department services. If you got that on your test and they ask you how you're going to identify that, it's not ER, okay? It's going to be ED. Okay, critical care services. Those codes are going to be 99291 through 99292. Okay. Initial nursing facility care. And some of them are going to be long. Now, in your CPC guide, you're going to do a lot of reading with that. But again, this is just merely, putting you in the right place. And these are the codes that we're going to use. Okay. So let me just see. Okay, so I was looking for the 2026 for 2025. Um, they didn't have that one for the step by step in the Amazon. And the one that I have on my website is actually 2025. So you still can get the 2025 one. Yeah, yeah, you still can get the 2025 one. Okay. And again, you can get that from thrift.com. The main thing that I'm more less concerned about is you guys getting your new CPT guide, CPT book and CPC guide. So the step by step. I mean, it's not going to change that much from what it was before. Okay, but your codes for new or established patient are going to be from 99281 to 99285, and this is for emergency department services. Okay, emergency department services. Okay. We're also going to do care plan oversight services. Now, yeah, this I remember this definitely being on an exam. Some of you who absolutely know um, what was on that exam years ago. I mean, years ago when we first started, I mean, it was stuff on there that was ridiculous. But I mean, this is the kind of stuff that is supposed to be on there. And the oversight care plan should be there. That's like your provider, or whoever your doctor's going to be. I mean, the oversight care plan is pretty much how you're going to take care of the patient, especially a patient who has like diabetes or something that's ongoing. You have to have an oversight care plan. So we are in evaluation and management, guys, and that's what we're kind of talking about right now. We're going to go over those codes. I'm still trying to figure out how to get you leeway to see what I'm seeing, but you guys do have your book. You guys can also see, the same thing that I'm seeing. Um, so and encoding that category, you're only going to have two questions on that, but they still want you to be able to code that same category. Okay, hold on one second. So if there's something in there that you think that you might have trouble with, or it might be a certain section that you feel like, oh no, I can't do this section. That's where your index cards are going to come in. That's where your index cards are going to come in. Okay, so um, non face to face services, non face to face services. Yes, somebody tell me what non face to face services are. Um, Right, it's like digital services, teleservices, mm-hmm, remote monitoring. Sometimes you have those pain things on your side, or especially your defibrillator or something like that. Non face to face, but it's still monitoring. Okay. There's also a code for management services, like when they're signing paperwork and stuff like that. They may ask you that, so that's also in there. Um, Newborn care services 99460 to 99463. Is anybody going into pediatric care? Um, I met a couple of people on Twitter that's actually going into obstetrician. I opted into pediatric care, but when I used to work in the OR years ago, the OR was actually in the Children's Center Schneider next door, and I just I can't see those children like that, and I kind of succumb to seeing them now, which I probably would be okay doing pediatric coding. And pediatric coding is, you see stuff. When you see those codes, it's almost like you're there yourself. Okay, or you know the child. Okay, so let me see if I can get the filter going. It's not the filter in the window. And Apple Source. It should be Mega Source. I don't know why it's coming in like that. And I'm only breaking because I see you guys stepped out. Okay, I got it. Let me see. Add source. And here. Um. All right. So inside the step by step, but I don't see in here where there's much more work that you're gonna do than what's actually in a step by step book. But if you have your CPC book, I want you to go ahead and do those answers in there too. Like I said, if you find the answers in the back of the book, figure out figure out why the answer is that answer. And we can always do one on one. So don't forget, if you guys get too stuck, you can always, DB me and we can do a one on one. DB is discussion board. Okay, we can always do a one on one if you guys get stuck. Okay, so we're still going to do psychiatric collaboration, care management, transitional management services. That I want you to step fast on. Those codes are 99495 through 99496. Advanced care planning and general behavioral integration care management. Okay, so that's pretty much your gusto, and then there's like just other E&M services are going to be 99499. Okay, so I hope you got your books. So there are three factors of E&M coding. Okay, the code assignments in the E&M, sometimes it's kind of different, but these are going to be the main things that you're going to look for. One, your place of service. Where is the service being performed? Where is the patient being seen? Okay. The next one is what type of service is the patient here for? What type of service does the patient need? Okay. Third, what is the patient's status? Okay. What is the patient's status? All right, hold on one second. So make sure you get those three factors down. Make sure you get those three factors down. Um, as I'm showing you this, I'm trying to see where, I think we got this from here. And I don't know if you can see this. Let me see. Can you guys still see me? I'm kind of messing around in here. But the screen capture, max screens capture. I'm not even sure what that is, to tell you the truth. I don't want to mess up my screen. That's why I don't want to do it. Because it's gonna come out and mess up my screen. And a lot of times I try to do it before I come on, but if I don't do it before I come on, I do it while I'm on. And when you're in StreamYard and OBS, if you stop messing around in OBS, you can see everything. If you hit the wrong button. In StreamYard, you pretty much a little bit safer, but in OBS, you just have to be careful in what you're doing. And this one is not like the other one where I can switch a screen. So I'm going to go ahead and put up the book in case you guys don't have it. So we're at the place of service and the three factors. Okay. I put the book there. I put it there yesterday. All right, so this is it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this link up here, and this is actually the step-by-step book. This is the step-by-step book, the one that we're actually looking at right now. And I'm going to put the link up there. I'll put the link up there because you guys can't see my book. You can't see my book during this section, but I put the book there so you guys can check out the sample. Even if it's, even if you don't have the book, so you can check out the sample. Okay, so let's go back to those three. Let me get to my book. Okay, so those are the three factors: place of service, type of service, patient status. Okay, those are going to be your main go-to in evaluation management services. Your place of service is where? Was it in the hospital? Was it in the emergency room? Where was the patient seen? Where was the patient seen? Okay, again, we're in E&M. Okay, what type of service did the patient come here for? Is the patient coming for a consultation? Is the patient coming to be admitted? Is she being pre-admitted? Is the patient here for an office visit? You remember what we did yesterday when I showed you guys the types of services, those codes that are in there? 01, 02, 04, 09, 21, 25. Those codes indicate the type, the place of service. And the place of service depends on where the patient is. And that's how you're going to determine the place of service when you put it on a 1500 claim form. And the type of service is going to be also listed there. You consultation, admission, new. They're not going to say that as the word. It's all going to be coded. It's all going to be coded. So look at that chat from yesterday, and you guys can see what actually was coded. Okay. So patient status. Okay, patient status is again new, established, patient, outpatient, or inpatient. Okay, so I just want to kind of backtrack on that type of service thing. When you guys are reading the 275, make sure that you check out the consultation, admission, newborn care, and office visit. Read that because that's going to help you to determine which code you're going to use. Just like everything here is going to help you determine which code you're going to use. Okay, consultation is a written or verbal request from a provider or physician to another to obtain an opinion or advice. Now, if you guys have your CPC, If you go to evaluation and management, it's going to tell you the same thing. So that's why I said what we're doing is it's repetitious. It's repetitious. What we're doing is repetitious. It is the same thing. Okay. And let me tell you something, the more you study the same thing, the better you'll get it. All right. So also on 276, just like how I'm indicating these factors, the three factors, right? Place of service, type of service, patient status. The definition is in here. Okay. The four types of patient status is here. New patient, established patient, outpatient, inpatient. Okay, and it's going to give you the definition of what a new patient is. Okay, a new patient is one who has not received any services from a physician in the exact same specialty and subspecialty in the same group within 3 years. Even though that sounds like a lot of information, once you do your studying over and over, you will know. Has the patient been here within 3 years? Did the patient see anyone else in our group within 3 years? Yes or no? No? Okay, then you're going to be considered a new patient. Okay, they're going to be considered a new patient. And like I said, it depends on wherever you want to work. If you want to work in just you know doctor's office, then you want to make sure you steadfast on this, because if you put this in wrong, if you code this wrong, they're not going to get paid. If you don't catch it in 90 days, it's not going to get paid. You might get stuck with late filing. Late filing is you've got denial on this claim, or you've got a rejection, or they say they didn't get the claim, or they never processed the claim, or the claim didn't go through the edits. So that's why you want to just kind of be precarious and know what you're doing. What you're seeing in your step-by-step book is actual stuff that stuff goes on even in the CPC guide. When we start doing the CPC guide, those cases that are in the CPC, those are real cases. Those are real cases and real patients. And like I said, it's almost like being a surgeon. I hate to say that because a lot of people get scared of coding when I say that. When you read the cases, you just have to put yourself in that mindset. When you're working in a doctor's office, you're looking at the patient. You're literally looking at the patient, especially if you're in the front. You're looking at the patient. You just have to put yourself in those type of shoes just to make sure what you're doing is correctly. If that provider, if he doesn't close that case out by, I try to give him by like 4 o'clock. I want all cases closes and done. If that office closes at 5, all the patients should be out of there. And the doctor should have all the cases closed. If he makes a mistake, if he puts something in it that he didn't do, that he thinking that he did and he really wanted done tomorrow, that's where you come in as the coder to fix that. So that's why you have to put yourself in that same type of predicament. Because in a doctor's office, you're going to be doing more than one. Most doctor's offices, they're not going to outsource. If they do, you're going to be home. If they don't, the coders are going to be inside. Okay, they're going to be inside. Okay, so again, in this portion in evaluation management, that's the way it's done. But again, you're going to have to make sure that you have adequate notes when you're reading, adequate notes, adequate study time, and just focus on what you're reading. And this exercises that I see in here, where's the place of service, what type of service, the answers is on the top. I mean, you're just gonna go ahead and fill them in. I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't write in your book. Don't write in your book. Okay. So, all right. So we're gonna do a 15-minute right here, and then I'm going to come back. All right. So let me go back in, and reason I'm just gonna do a blank and come back is because I can't see the screen. I gotta fix this, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm just gonna come back as it and um, on live. So let me see. I wonder what this is right here. So let me see this right here.